Hirschfeld. I live in University City in San Diego. I decided to go with AirPlus heating, cooling, and solar after having met with 2 other vendors. I made a second phone call and spoke to the 3 vendors about some other ideas that I had. And in the end, I liked what was presented to me by AirPlus. I did have some challenges with this house. This house is a modern design home from the 60s. It is a house that does not have a very big attic. In fact, it has a crawl space. The first concern was how we were going to get all the air conditioning equipment into the crawl space. Jim, one of the installers and the owner, was very thoughtful in his plan and assured me that it would not be a problem to install not only the zoning but also all of the ducts adequate to meet our needs. We had a terrific installer team headed by Jim, and Ed, Dorian, and Andy, I believe it was, were very professional. They were here for a little bit over 2 days. They were here one day very late because it was necessary to finish a certain part of the installation. They worked very cleanly, very considerate, and to be very frank, met all of my expectations, went above and beyond my expectations in terms of what I was looking for. I'm very particular with regards to who I let into my home. I have to trust them implicitly. I'm not going to be here during the day when things are happening. They have free reign of my home. And I felt very comfortable when I met Jim, and then when I met Ed and Dorian the next day, that we could, not need to be here, that we could allow AirPlus to be available to the whole house. And it was great. It felt great. We have lived in this home since 1999. We have made a few changes to the house to improve not only the efficiency of the home, but also the comfort of the home. It started with insulation that this house did not have. That helped a little bit. We went with new windows, but it's been getting progressively hotter and uncomfortable. And now that my wife works here most of the time, full-time, and I'm actually working from home a little bit as well, the summers have been pretty unbearable for about 2 to 3 summers, and we decided the time had come to not only add value to our house, but to revamp the entire heating and cooling system, including new ducts, including new registers, and it's proven to be a very good decision. We find that the house is heated and cooled very quickly because we have new ducts, and also, quite frankly, I think we're going to save money in the long run because it's much higher efficiency that we've chosen for ourselves. So we're very excited about that. What we decided to do in terms of zoning was enhanced by the fact that we have a Trane variable speed, condenser or cooler, which allows for the system to run anywhere from 20% to 100% based on how much air we are calling. My experience has been that I can call air in one of the rooms of the house, and for example, at night I can call the bedrooms only. And our unit seems to be operating at about 30% capacity, which is a great savings. Not to mention, I don't hear the unit which is outside our bedroom at all during the time it's cooling, and the furnace is equally as quiet, or the blower in the furnace room is equally as quiet. So we are seeing the effects of having a variable speed pump in terms of usage and also in terms of sound and noise. Yeah, it's great. This house had an addition put into it in 1976. It's a room we call the den. My wife uses the den for her piano, and we use it for our entertainment. And that room is separate from the house. There was no ability to add ducts to it. And what Kim and Jim, what AirPlus suggested, was that we add a separate unit that could both cool and heat, and that we remove a very old furnace-style in-the-wall heating unit that had been installed back in the 70s. It was very inefficient and made the room extremely hot because of the fact that the air was concentrated in one area. The system we installed, which is the Fujitsu system, allowed us to not only have air conditioning in the room and heating, allowed us to remove the old heating system, thus giving us an additional amount of space on the wall that we now use to hang pictures from and makes the room much lovelier. So it was a great solution. And, you know, quite frankly, I wish I had thought about it a long time ago. So that was also a very good idea that they had. I would recommend AirPlus heating, cooling, and solar to friends and family. I have already, in fact, recommended them. And I'm